All right, hello. Hey, guys. It is the first day of fall. Well, it's not the first day of fall here. It's the first day of fall where you are, where you're watching this, the day that this came out, which is September 22nd, Tuesday, I believe. Past future editor Chris here. I just said a second ago that the first day of fall is Tuesday, September 22nd, but it's actually Sunday, September 22nd, which was yesterday. So when this video comes out, it was supposed to be the first day of fall, which was yesterday, but clearly I am still filming today, which is the day after yesterday, which means that the video is coming out tomorrow, which is Tuesday, but it's not September 22nd, it's September 24th. I don't know why I got Tuesday stuck in my head. I think because last month, this 22nd was Tuesday? I'm rambling. Anyway, I know how to read a calendar, I promise. Now, being about as unique as nobody, fall is my favorite time of the year. The weather is perfect. The sunlight just has this perfect, beautiful slant to it no matter what time of the day it is. I just wanted to take the time to talk about some of my favorite things that I'll be doing and using and stuff that's gonna be happening for me coming up in fall. So this is my fall favorites video. Like I said, I have some notes. We're going to talk about a couple different things, and it's going to be interesting. Hey there, I'm Chris, and you are watching The Photo Department. Today, right now, we're here together. And yeah, you got me, I am drinking coffee. This is coffee I've never had before. It's called Edison. I picked it up at Kumquat in Highland Park. It's very good. This is a blend. And I brewed this in my Mocha Master, and I've been doing that for the last week. This is actually the last of it, and it's been so very good. If you've not heard of Edison Coffee, go check them out. Their stuff is very delicious. And go make some in a Mocha Master, because that's what I do, and it's really good. Okay, first things first, the first segment, I guess, is cameras. What am I excited to be using this fall as far as my cameras go? You guys know I have a pretty decent collection of cameras. I have a lot to choose from, a lot of formats, but I feel that this fall I'm going to be leaning heavily on my Pentax 645N. This camera just does. It just does. I don't know how to explain it. It is such a fantastic form factor. It feels really great in my hands, and everything I shoot with it, it's just incredible. It's great. I don't know how I'd rate the lenses versus other lenses from other systems. I tend to think all lenses are pretty great. I really do enjoy the way these lenses look. This one is a manual focus 55mm, but I also use a 75mm autofocus lens, which is an incredible lens too. The really cool thing about this camera is that even if you're using a manual focus lens, there is a autofocus system that's still active in here, and if you manually focus to something and it is in focus, the camera recognizes it's in focus, it'll beep. And there's also a little light inside that'll tell you, hey, you're in focus, which is really cool and super helpful if you don't have all the autofocus lenses. So beautiful camera, love this. This is gonna get a lot of use this fall for some projects I have in mind. A couple of honorable mentions, not really, I'll be using them a lot too, but the Mamiya RB67, I've always had one or two of those cameras around because I think of myself as the Mamiya RB67 guy. Ever since I saw Matt Day's first video on it, back in 2012 or something, I've been obsessed with that camera. I got my first one, I believe, back in 2013, and I've owned probably 14 of them. I own 2 now, and that's just such a versatile camera, versatile system. I love those cameras, and I'll never be without one. So that's definitely a camera I'm gonna be using a lot this fall. Okay, fake honorable mention number 1. The reason why the RB67 is a fake honorable mention is because this has been a staple in my kit since I started shooting professionally again. And it's very often the camera that all other cameras that I own or shoot are judged against often harshly. It can do so many things. You know, you can put motorized backs on it. All the lenses are really, really good. You really can't beat that waist level finder. It's just super nice. It's just a system camera that is really, really difficult to beat. It's just such a good camera, and calling it an honorable mention is a little bit disrespectful to the history I have with this specific camera and all the other ones that I've owned. So that's fake honorable mention number 1. 2 more sort of honorable mentions, one being the Olympus XA. That one doesn't really have a season. It's always perfect for everything. It's great to throw in my pocket. I can use it with whatever film I feel like it. It's got a flash I can turn on or turn off or take off the camera physically. It goes in my bag. It's kind of a no-brainer having it on me. It's just such a fantastic little camera. All right, fake honorable mention number 2 is the Olympus XA. We own 4 of these because this camera is incredibly fun and cool and useful for so many situations. When I want to bring a camera somewhere and I don't want to bring like a heavy Nikon F2 or something else that's just going to be much too big, this is what I grab and throw in my pocket. It's incredibly pocketable. Flash is screwed right onto it. And then if you take that flash off, look how small this thing is. It's way smaller than my hand. You shoot at aperture priority. It's just like such a powerful, cool little camera. So yeah, honorable mention, I guess, but again, fake. Last but not least is my Fuji X Pro 2, my holy grail camera, the camera that I sold, regretted, and repurchased. You can take the camera everywhere. It takes really good images. It's really compact. It looks cool. People often ask me about that camera when they see me out and about with it. And sometimes it gets mistaken for a Leica, which I think is funny. It is kind of interesting to have people assume that I'm shooting a Leica, even though I'm not, because I can't afford to. Okay, final fake honorable mention. Calling this an honorable mention is also something that is offensive, and I'm very, very sorry. I used this camera so much for so many things for years, and then I sold it because I was so into film and I was shooting mostly film, and I was like, oh, this is not getting enough use, it should be getting use. The reason why this camera cannot be an honorable mention is because the pure joy and fun and, you know, fulfillment I get out of shooting this camera cannot be understated. It really is a camera I can take anywhere. I can shoot anything with it. I keep a 35mm equivalent lens on it all the time. Calling this an honorable mention, no, I carry this thing with me so much. I take so many photos with it. But anyway, the point is, this is not an honorable mention. This is absolutely a camera that I love using all the time. And yeah, so I'm sorry. I'm sorry I did this to you. Anyway, that's the last of the honorable mentions. Thank you very much. Ooh, it smells like poo. Oh, it smells a little pooey over here. Hey, new location, same me. I wanted to talk about something a little more controversial, and that is the kind of film that I want to be using starting in fall. Now, if you know my channel and you know me, you know that I'm a total Ektar apologist. I think people don't know how to use Ektar properly, and they try it out and it doesn't come out the way they want it to, and they give up on it. And that's fine, that's what happens. People try things and they don't like it, and you know, they give up on it. And I think that Ektar deserves better, and I think your photography deserves better, because I think that if you got a handle on how to shoot Ektar and realized how easy it was to get good results out of it, you would shoot a bunch more. So some reasons why I personally like to shoot Ektar: super fine grain, very punchy and vibrant colors, and everyone underestimates it. So whenever I shoot something really nice on Ektar, people are like, ooh, how did you get that cool picture on Ektar? It's like, well, I'll tell you. Not in this video, but eventually I'm gonna do a video talking about why Ektar is good, and it will be a good video. Okay, second on my list, which will be a surprise to no one, Kodak Gold, specifically in 120. I do like Kodak Gold in 35mm, but I don't shoot a ton of 35mm, and when I do, I kind of stick to, oh, there are a lot of flying things around here, like bugs. I don't like it. I don't like it. Anyway, I tend to shoot a lot more medium format. I really like Golden 120 because if you shoot it right in camera, you can almost do nothing to it in post and it'll look fantastic, especially if you know kind of the look you want already and you can set yourself up for that. It's just really fantastic. So gold in 120, yes, absolutely. I think that's also going to be a really great complement to all the fall colors once the trees start to turn and the leaves start to change. Not a ton of that here. That's all pretty green back there, but soon we're going to get some of that soon. Last but not least, a little bit of a curveball. I don't shoot a lot of black and white, but I was gifted a bunch of Kodak Tri-X, and I do remember liking Tri-X quite a bit. I've shot a lot of HP5, a lot of Ilford films in general, and I want to lean back into that grainy reportage kind of look of Tri-X, and I think that will be really cool and moody for fall and for the type of light that you tend to get in the fall. So that is something I'm looking forward to shooting in the fall as well. And it's actually super exciting because I actually don't think I've shot Tri-X in 5 or 6 years. I never purchase it. I always get some HP5 or FP4 or what else did I shoot? I shot a lot of Acros back when Acros was being made. So yeah, I'm excited to get back into shooting Tri-X and getting that texture. I chose this beautiful view, these mountains back here with the mist, to talk about more fall favorites, this time books. I have not always been such a good investigator of photo books. A lot of that's because photo books can be very expensive, and usually once I find one photo book, I gotta have like a whole bunch of other ones. Is that a person hanging from that helicopter? I can't tell if that is... Is that a person? So I don't know what that is. There it is. And there's another one. Helicopters. Having started working at Eagle Rock Camera with Jason Lee, Jason and Ray are both very big proponents of finding and sharing really excellent photo books, contemporary artists, classics, everything in between, local stuff. First on that list, so all of you know Matt Day. He came out with his book Surveyor, and he was sweet enough to send me a copy of his book. It's hard to explain what exactly I like about that book because there's not things I can pick out individually. I just really love his perspective, the way he shoots, the textures he chooses, his layout, and sequencing is really fantastic. I just think that that book is really great. With black and white photography, I sometimes struggle with like what I want to do, how I want to capture things, what inspires me, and what to do with that lack of color. Seeing his book be successful in the way that it is and being as compelling and interesting gives me more, I guess, confidence to shoot black and white in different ways. And yeah, I appreciate that. So thank you, Matt. So this next book was a companion book to a documentary from 1965. The documentary kind of fell by the wayside, kind of disappeared in the annals of history. No one really cared about it. But the book itself ended up becoming sort of a Bible, sort of like a textbook for everything Ivy League and kind of prep, I guess. And it became something of a phenomenon in the fashion world to this day. And that book is called Take Ivy. And it's got a really, really cool story behind it. I found out about Take Ivy through a podcast called Articles of Interest, which is hosted and produced by Avery Trufelman. And very interesting. That whole podcast centers around textiles and clothing culture and, different cultures and how their cultures are changed and shaped by clothing. The helicopter's back and it's carrying something. So without getting too into the nitty-gritty of what Take Ivy was, basically there were these Japanese fashion guys who went to the United States to go to Ivy League colleges and document video of what students were wearing on these Ivy League colleges in the 50s and 60s. And they brought a photographer with them to document with the film crew. And basically the film crew was like, hey, you can be here and do this, just stay out of our way. And the guy was like, cool, I got you. The book became wildly popular. The photographs in this book are incredible. It's not a photo book in the sense of like he went out for a project for the sake of photography. He really was trying to document what it was like for an Ivy League student in college back at that time period, and what that fashion set said about those students and what that said about the state of fashion in the United States at that time. And I find it very fascinating. And I find it very interesting because all of the stuff that was captured from that book, I would say stylistically extremely relevant today. That helicopter has 2 people hanging from it. I don't know if you'll be able to see that. Okay. Cool. Action-packed. Very neato. So I think Take Ivy, the book, that dovetails pretty nicely into what I want to talk about next, which is what I want to be wearing, or what inspiration I have for wearing clothing in fall. And one of the reasons why I like fall so much is because there are so many things that you could wear to stay warm, to stay cool, to layer up, to layer down, to dress up a little bit, to be more casual but still kind of dressy. B? Are you a B? Yeah, you're a B, you're fine. There's so many things you can do with clothing that it's almost kind of like the perfect season, other than like spring. But I will say right now that I prefer fall to spring by a multitude of multitudes. For various reasons. But first, let's talk about the elephant in the room. These corduroy pants. I'm wearing corduroys. I got these from Uniqlo. They are the Smart Ankle Corduroy pants. There's a hornet around my ankle right now. I've always liked corduroy. I think corduroy is very smart looking. I also think corduroy is very comfortable. It can be warm. These are relatively warm. They're not overly warm, but they are very comfortable. They're very soft. I like that they are brown. They had other colors like black and dark green, but I think these go good with practically everything. I can't decide if I want to cuff them. I don't have them cuffed now, but I'll cuff them once just to see what we think. What do we think? Do we like the cuffs? Are the cuffs going? I have my Kodak yellow socks on too. Look at that, that's great. But these are from Uniqlo. I love Uniqlo. I think Uniqlo's clothing is phenomenal. When I was diagnosed with the big C, I took kind of a look holistically at my wardrobe and I said, what about these clothes are comfortable and what about these clothes do I feel comfortable in? And I decided that a lot of them were not great. Some of it was just like lazy stuff that I used to wear. I dropped a significant amount of weight since being diagnosed, and so I wanted to wear and refresh my wardrobe with some clothes that I thought would be more fun, more comfortable, better for the seasons, has some longevity. One of these staples that I decided to get is this. This is an Abercrombie & Fitch waffle knit long sleeve crop. You can see it's cropped. It's not cropped like a lot, but it's cropped. This is one of the most comfortable shirts I've ever put on my body. It is warm, but it's flowy enough that you get some airflow in there. It just fits my shoulders really great. It feels really nice in the hand. I like this off-white color. It was very inexpensive. I think I paid 50% off on a sale or something online. And I think it's very flattering. It's not something I would typically go for to wear, B's. But I have been wearing this for the last couple of days, off and on, and I really, really enjoy it. I think this is one of my favorite new pieces. It's, again, a basic. It's very chill. There's nothing crazy going on about it, but I think it fits me great, and it makes me feel confident, and it makes me feel comfortable, and I feel like I can do anything. Speaking of confidence, you guys have probably seen me in my Red Wing mock toe boots. These are the black versions. My girlfriend bought these for me last December for Christmas, and it's very funny because I bought her the same ones in black, but I got her the the Iron Rangers. So we both have these in black, and we both have a pair of Iron Rangers. The reason I dig these particular boots is I feel that they're really versatile. You can dress them up, you can dress them down. They're incredibly comfortable. They keep my ankles nice and supported. I think they look good for any situation. They go good with workwear, they go good with casual Ivy style clothing, and I just feel like every time I wear these and I have a conversation with somebody about them, they're brought up in a positive light. People think that they're really cool, and I dig that. No, the helicopter is picking up more bushes. Those are the Red Wings. And then I have one more piece that is a favorite for fall and winter that I want to show you. Now, it is not quite cold enough for this yet, but this is one of my favorite layered pieces. This is an LL Bean, vintage LL Bean. Look at that tartan liner there. Barn jacket. It's kind of like a chore coat, but they call it a barn coat. It's got these slash pockets here, and then underneath those pockets, woo, 2 more slash pockets. Pocket on the inside. It's very comfortable. Look at that, corduroy on the collar, corduroy on the mother flipping sleeves. It's just such a smart looking, I dig it. Whenever I wear this, partially because it's bright red and partially because it's such a cool cut and it kind of goes with so many things. People ask me about it all the time. They ask me where I got it. They ask me who makes it. They ask me if it's vintage. Yes, it's vintage. LL Bean, I got it, I believe, in Milwaukee. The first fall that I lived there. Yes. I have a question. Does anyone know why bugs just go straight for the ear? The fuck is that about? All right, that pretty much wraps up my fall favorites for this year. Like I said, it's the first day of fall right now if you're watching this. And I hope that this was at least entertaining, maybe inspirational, maybe fun. Sometimes it feels as though people take photography and all the stuff around it and film a little bit too seriously. And you know, I like to focus on the fun aspects of it. This is fun. This is fun stuff to do. What's important is that we're getting out there to create and make images and have fun and share what we do with other people. And if we can do that, then we're gonna have a good time. I really appreciate you coming out, hanging out with me, learning about my fall favorites. And there'll be more of that kind of stuff where this came from. Probably, maybe winter favorites are coming up. I might do an update about my YouTube gear as requested by Christine. More coffee stuff. And yeah, if you want to support this channel, I have a Patreon. It's in the description. You can become a member. You get to go to our Discord and be a member of the Discord, which is very cool. Really great community there. Thanks again for watching. I'm glad you guys were here. The sun. Go back behind a cloud. Go back behind a cloud. Back behind a cloud. Close enough. Thank you guys for watching, for hanging out with me. I hope you guys are excited about fall as I am. I hope you guys get cozy tonight to watch some Gilmore Girls reruns. And yeah, I'll see you guys in the next one. Later.